Hello, everyone. I was recently arrested. I'm not sure if that was legally. I went to prison. It was very symbolic and simulation breaking, and the events that occurred were what normal, rational people that believe that they know everything that you see on any Facebook comment section, if they were to undergo the experience that I had gone through, they would describe it as torture. And they would freak out for the rest of their lives. But for me, that is just another day at the park. Being harassed, targeted, violently abused, having my freedoms and my feelings of safety and my personal dignity stripped from me, being gaslit and brainwashed into believing I am not who I feel that I am, and I am in fact something else. Something that leaves me feeling cold, emotionless, on guard, and unable to communicate my thoughts. That sticks with me for a very long time. And then I'm usually just left to wander the wastes again. And the people that hurt me, I have yet to see get any type of actual punishment. I beg and beg and beg, but I'm being patient because I have faith that this cruel God has a plan. So, in the meantime, where I was just beginning to develop feelings of safety, which isn't true because every morning I would start to feel comfortable, and then the local crows would show up, which is a reoccurring thing every single day of my life, is that I wake up in the morning and I try to incorporate the feeling that I get when I first wake up, which is this feeling of peace and clarity, cognitive ability, harmony, love, purity, light, and I'm in the commander's seat and I'm present in my body and I'm ready to tackle my day with excitement. And I want to say the word fervor for the future. Now, what I've seen, especially since COVID, it was not present when I was 17, or I at least had not had the trauma that I have now, and I was able to focus and guide my mind through something that might have allowed me not to be affected by those external circumstances. I cannot tell you if the crows were screaming at me when I was younger, but I don't have any vivid memories of crows screaming at all. And I seem to be able to breeze by negativity with ease. Whereas now, it seems like I'm so empathically in tune. I'm so able to understand, and I think at such a more complex and greater level in the present moment instead of being kind of set in stone and pushing forward. I'm now experiencing everything vividly. So when people come with deceit and things like this, I process it in real time. I'm always thinking about why, and I'm cross-referencing that with everything I've been through, which is necessary in a world that's designed to destroy your hippocampus, but I might get killed for saying that. So, just to tell you, in the minute that I wake up, within seconds, there are the list that I call the crows, creeps, crackheads, cunts, cops, and corruption. Immediately. It might not happen for the rest of the day, but I know that when I wake up and I have this feeling of being blessed and grateful to be alive, not even blessed as in I have something others don't, but blessed as in, man, I understand how beautiful life could be, and I'm so happy I'm here to experience it. In the past, I don't want to say now because I don't want to have it keep happening, but in the past 4 years, it has happened every single day. And somehow the psychological traumas that I've gone through for years, I'm talking about gaslighting, being isolated, being trapped, being abused, being isolated and only having narcissistic, parasitic relationships that would gaslight me. And if I started to act what I now know to be radical acceptance and free association, where I can be anything and I can raise above to grow like a tree and uncover my true self and operate with authenticity, which is proven to be a large number times more powerful electromagnetically than love. Where people are like, love is so much more powerful. When you discover your true authenticity, it's miles above in magnitude what you actually start to express energetically, which can be recorded. If I had an editor, I would link right here the studies. I would cite my sources. But for now, I'm a homeless man, which is going to be very cool in the next coming years. It'll be the new normal. So I'm just a pioneer. You feel me? I'm just a pioneer. So while I'm here, and I don't know, maybe the cops feel like they win, I went through a lot of stuff, and it was cool. But for the most part, um, just saying, bear with me. I lost my train of thought. I was talking about the crows, cops, creeps, cunts, and crackheads, and how they show up over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, I was talking about in the woods. I have to move because I seem to have been trespassed by the Vermont Water and Power Company, which I wasn't aware of. I was told from the entire town that I spoke to that where I put my campsite would be the best possible location in terms of preventing other homeless people from occupying that space and also being safely away from prying eyes and the pride and prejudice of the town of Morristown, Vermont, and the police department. And when I went there, what followed me, except hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of crows, who you can see on many of my videos, they like to position themselves directly in front of me, and they will not stop until I feel like they have stolen my power, and then they will laugh. And that same behavior in that tiny little body of a crow, I see expressed in these crows, cops, creeps, cunts, crackheads, and corrupt officials. It seems like they are the same entity to me. I see the same responses, the same behavior. I can predict their actions based off what I've seen in the past. I can predict the jolts of their body. I can call it out when I see videos of them on the internet of police being the type of way you know I'm talking about, but you might not be able to articulate as clearly. So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these crows flew directly in front of me, and they would not leave me alone for weeks. And then the one day they were gone, it added up to an 11, which are the powerful master number days, which are the most emotionally vivid. And I'm born on the 11th. And on these 11 days, once every 2 months roughly, I get brutally assaulted for basically no other reason other than the cops seem to be having a horrible day and they seem really happy to be hurting me. And they did, and I caught it on the live stream. And then everyone in jail did pretty much the same thing, except I had no freedom to move, so I had to sit there. So in the meantime, I am rating dumpsters. I looked on the internet and it says that once items are placed in a dumpster, whether it's recycling or trash, they are legally free game for any dumpster divers. Even if that dumpster says no trespassing on the dumpster. If it's a dumpster and it looks like a dumpster and it says it's a dumpster, even if it says don't go in there, it's still technically legal according to Google. So I am rating dumpsters and I'm finding cool shit like these door hinges, and I'm finding tons of pallets. So I figure I have nowhere to go. I'd rather not have a town full of alcoholic, obese, middle-aged, bald losers in uniform that have become addicted to harming others in this need to steal spiritual essence. Consistently grope at me while I walk down the street to feed the monster that they've become inside. As much as I know my perseverance will cause a shock wave through the whole network of me just continuing to not care and move forward. My life doesn't revolve around the state of Vermont, and I chose to come in here to make it a better place. Willingly donated a year of my young life to seeing this through, hoping that God would provide the means for it to work in the best way possible for everybody. So maybe these cops, in order for them to get humbled and understand in the future, they need to have a punching bag that can take it. I'm a punching bag that can take it, because I've taken a lot worse. So I don't mind being pepper sprayed. If you can see on the live stream, I don't jump, I don't twitch, I don't volt, I don't even fight them. I just refuse to acknowledge them trying to get my ID and pretending to be doing something nice when you can clearly see that they have malicious intent and they want to hurt me for some reason. And I can't figure out why, other than the usual stuff you see in the Bible about people that don't live righteously do to people that try very hard to live righteously and then begin to break free and ascend to higher timelines. And live in a world that those people who are minuscule compared to us, if you're like this, which I doubt you are. I'm seeing porn addiction floating around somebody's spirit. I'm seeing coveting. I'm seeing people purposefully using ultimatums. I'm seeing people that will only be like a benefactor or a benevolent person as long as they can get something in return. So their generosity is not really selfless. Because as soon as whatever you're giving your energy or time to ceases to provide you with the energy and identity that you live in, that you got through parasitic means, depletes when the target, the subject, whether that's a group of people or a child or a school or whatever you're doing, grows out of that and no longer has any care about you and succeeds in that relationship where they were in submission to you because you had things provided that were essential for them to get their needs met. So they submitted like raccoons or dogs when you threatened to beat them with a slipper if they didn't comply. Stuff like that. You can't live in this way that I'm talking about. And when you get to that level, which IShowSpeed is barely even on, Aiden Ross is not on, Andrew Tate is far from it, Tristan Tate is far from it, but he tries hard. Emery Tate knows about it, but he was old, and 33 Life Paths have been through everything, man. So you kind of get that 40-year-old alcoholic ex-detective vibe, you know, where you're like, oh, I'm skilled, but I don't want to do anything. And when you do, it's like flipping on a light switch that all the moths in the world can see. Everywhere you go, the moths want that light. And they'll go so hard as to prostitute themselves out for you. They'll want to fuck you. Anything that they can do to get your electromagnetic energy that you got through spiritual Bitcoin mining of living a truthful, righteous, authentic, genuine life that was given to you, that you co-created with the Most High or the Divine or the Great Spirit. So, if you could take anything away from this, it's that anyone that comes at you obviously feels below you. Or, in many cases in history, they feel so far above you that you're just a means for them to continue their bloodlust and their chasing of a high of spiritual dominance of feelings. You're just another village the Vikings can raid and rape and steal to improve their genetics. You're just another slave that they can put in their dungeon and rape when you're done picking cotton. You're just another Indian on land that you want, that they want. And they'll do whatever just to get closer to that. I'm usually the victim of the former. I'm not really getting stepped on out here by bigwigs. But I mean, they did it to my land when I was a child. They took away my land. They took away my feelings of safety, and they abused my father horribly for no reason. He put his blinker on and they said he didn't. Then they reached into the car to grab the keys. So I think my dad was in every right to roll the window up and floor the car in reverse. He was afraid for his safety. The police did something unsafe and illegal, and there was children in the car. I trust my father's ability to drive in a straight line quickly and put the brakes on. Then I trust that officer who hurt my father very badly to not hurt my father very badly. So, but that trauma stuck with us forever. I'll have it for the rest of my life. So I've seen that. But for the most part, I'm talking about these lower beings and these succubi that come at you as you progress forward towards living your purpose and doing what you love. Being enigmatic. And I have that right. I've gotten to a point. It was haters in high school. It was haters in middle school. It was schemy haters in elementary school. It was people when I was 3 years old in my apartment complex that would show up and steal my clothes. They would sneak into, like, children that were 4 years old would sneak into my room and steal my clothes and wear them. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That the 33 Life Path visionary has the ability to manifest energies. And people my entire life that masqueraded as my family members would be constantly trying to suck it out. for themselves, and that everywhere I go, every single person is doing it, whether they mean to or they like it or not. So that's happening. But I have all this stuff, so I'm going to be, um, first I have to get all my things on the road, and there's a very long trail that goes from here maybe 100 miles. It goes to Lake Champlain and then up to Canada. So I don't really have anything else to do. I would love to get a job and save up money and get a nice dog and get a car and get a girlfriend and get buff as hell and get guns and rifles and a truck and a life and have children and have merch, have YouTube content, start writing my life story and doing TV show content and live streams and putting on shows for disabled children that cling to YouTube because it gets them through life, because they might be going through what I'm going through, and they need what I needed, which was people having fun. And I seem to be the only person who didn't take life so seriously in 2020 that they have lost touch with reality. So for the most part, when I'm not constantly under surveillance and energetic attacks from some type of psycho-spiritual technocratic force, I can really, in those moments when I wake up, I can piece together what life was before the traumas, when I was younger, before all of this happened and we got to this place. And then I start laughing. So that's my goal currently at 22. And I said, we go until we die. We go until we die. So the next video, which I don't know when I will hit upload on this, but I'm gonna put it on my channel. Eventually it will be in a series that I might call The Rail Trail. And I'm just gonna show off how cool it is every day. Walk and talk, record, walk and talk for 20 minutes a day. Just about probably how to heal your body and how to heal your mind and your brain. For now, because I don't have an editor. If there's any aspiring editors, we're just right now, all this is just getting my watch time to a certain amount so I can start monetizing. And then the money that I would make from monetizing, I would pump back into people that wanted to edit my videos. And I would give them the money that I receive from there. Maybe, let's say 5% goes to me, 5% goes to some type of charity or something of the choice, 5% goes to like a GoFundMe or a bucket, and then the rest, I don't care, it'll go to the editor as like maybe an incentive to get better at his job, and then we'll pump in more views. And then hopefully maybe I could have a team of people working that send me 10% that I can pull together eventually and prevent this land grab from the rich men north of Richmond and get a stronghold, a permanent safe haven in this beautiful place that is infected with horrible people. Or maybe I'll go to Hollywood and stab Diddy and blow up the Hollywood sign. But for now, I'm going to go look for wheels, because I'm building A wagon.